my friends. Welcome to the video. My name is Owen Fox. In this video I want to share about when is the best time optimally, from physical, mental, emotional, spiritual and relationship wise, time to have a baby. So first of all, I want to say, from a spiritual perspective, babies come through the perfect time, and there's no right or wrong or best or worst time necessarily to have a baby. Things happen in divine timing and purpose, and on the physical level we can easily say so many reasons why it's not the best time or the optimal time to have a baby, but that's okay. Soul or spirit or source, they come down, it wants to have experience. Source, God, the universe wants to have experiences, and souls come through and they want an adventure and a really roller coaster ride on Earth and other planets. But in terms of for peace, happiness and joy, and as opposed to just harder lessons with children born at harder times, because that is a lesson for the parents as well as the children as they grow. So if you're born into a hard household, hard times, hardships between the parents, or even just single parent or breakup of a relationship when you're a child, which my parents broke up. I've got plenty of experience with loads of things now. I'm 39 years young, but I've had a wealth of intense experiences in my life, and a wealth of variety of experiences too, which gives deeper meaning and depth to me in many ways. But apart from the whole lessons and hardship and challenges where you have to heal then later in life as an adult, which I've done because I've had a very traumatic childhood, very hard time. Obviously had nice times too, obviously for definite, plenty of nice times playing with my friends, and a lovely relationship with my mum. But yeah, I had a lot of hardships, tremendously emotionally, for many years, up to the age of, up to the age of 24, I guess you could say, hard times. So I've spent from 24 to 39 healing, and now I'm at where I am, and it's my favourite, my best, happiest time of my life, and the most peace and well-being. So the best time to have a relationship for me now, in my own experience, is after, when you're in a really good relationship, when you've done the work and the healing involved, where you're in a place of together and a place of peace with your partner and happiness, and it's a good cooperation, a good partnership. You're good together, you're a good match, whereas, for example, in my last relationship didn't really work out, and that's perfect. But so it can be. So overall, I really recommend having a baby. It's a gorgeous experience. I love it so much. But it has to be really when you're with the right person and at the right time. Now, some people might say there's no right time. It's always going to feel daunting, and for the most part, mostly we'll have a tendency to feel a certain degree of anticipation, nervousness, excitement, a certain degree of daunting, possibly. It's hard to be fully prepared for having a baby, if you know what I'm saying. It's a very new type of experience. But some big things if you're looking for the optimal one, coming from where I'm talking about, it's best if you do it when you're not on poverty stricken. You're not you can have a place for it to live in. It doesn't have to be rich, but you feel a sense of safety and security. You have a home. You can build the baby's little nest. Definitely when you're not, because me and my partner, we spent almost 3 years, maybe 2 3/4 years, to fix and to stop doing all, for the most part, to stop all the arguments and the fights, So it's best when if a baby's born when there's peace and love and a harmonious connection in between the parents, and you're going to stay together optimally for the most cushiest, easiest type of, nicest type of life. It's okay if you break up or you have a baby when it's not the most perfect time. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say anything like that. A baby is a blessing, and whatever way it works out, it's okay, it'll work out, and life will go on. And Spirit wanted to be born. If you have the baby, Spirit wanted to be born. But in terms of the most sweetest type of feeling experience emotionally and mentally, it's just delightful to have a baby when you're both ready, you're both mature enough, you have a home, or you have enough money. It doesn't have to be tons, in my opinion, but you have enough. And for me, it's how the baby was born too. For me, the most optimal experience for the baby, physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, is definitely having the peaceful, happy, safe, comfortable labour and birth. So for me, I'd recommend a home birth. You can either go for an unassisted birth. I'm not recommending that, but that's what some people do. I'm not recommending, I'm just saying many women go for either a home birth with midwives or an unassisted home birth, where they've done a lot of study and they maybe already had children before, possibly, or they're just feeling very confident and they have a support system around. So basically speaking, it's not a whole lot of like force, pressure, drugs, lights, people telling you what to do. You're not having birth on your back, which is a very unnatural position to give birth, like the way they do in hospitals. It's very optimal to have it on all four as a woman, so you let gravity and the good posture, you open up your channels, so the baby comes out much more easy and with less pain. There's also homeopathic remedies and even herbs you can take for either pain or for relaxing and strengthening the muscles of the woman's reproductive system and their uterus, their womb. There's various holistic practices in which you can prepare for and get ready for the most easiest transition, and you can love your baby and help your baby come out with as much ease, passion, or love and grace, like as much ease and grace and happiness and harmony. And what the pregnant mother feels, the baby will feel. So a baby coming into the world can have trauma to heal if you have a traumatic pregnancy. This can be powerful and very true, and this can be intense for the baby and the young child, the newborn, and the growing child if you had a very traumatic pregnancy. I've seen this, okay? But the opposite can also be said to be true. If you have a more happy and harmonious pregnancy, it helps the baby. But I feel birth is very important in labouring. Like I said, do with people around you who you want. Don't be pressurised into having people who you don't want to be around you. And don't be pressurised or forced into taking stuff like drugs, medications, or like an epidural or a C-section when you don't need to. When you don't need to, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't do. I'm just saying like this can have a negative effect on the baby. So like for sure, it sounds like a better thing to avoid if not needed under the most like pressing and like dire of circumstances. Like if you don't need one, don't get one. Sometimes they often recommend things you don't need in hospitals. I even did a mama natural birth course with my partner. So also how you treat the newborn, like I don't recommend like the whole like let the baby cry itself to sleep thing. That's like teaching the child at the youngest of age to be that their feelings and they don't matter. They're not cared for properly. They're neglected already, emotionally abandoned at the most tenderest, youngest of ages. So I'd highly recommend like loving and being attentive to your baby and young child and newborn, your toddler. Always be attentive. I won't get into everything that's to do with parenting, but yeah, it's highly recommend that you work out your own relationship troubles, then have a baby. It's a bit premature to have one too soon if you're still arguing or bickering or fighting or talking about breaking up. And myself and my partner used to do this a lot. But that's because she and I both had a very traumatic childhood and we had a lot to heal from, so a lot of triggers. And like I saw a lovely picture once. What society says is a successful relationship and what a real successful relationship looks like. What society says is like elaborate professions of your love. Big, massive, like, oh, this is how much I love you, woo! Or fancy romantic dates, night outs. That's not what a real one is. That's what society is teaching us. And then the third one society teaches us is, I can't remember, to be honest. But what it really takes is hard conversations, owning one's triggers, taking responsibility for one's emotions. This type of stuff. This is what me and my partner had to go through until we finally found we've done healing incrementally. And then when we did all the stoppage of the arguments, basically speaking, then you start to cultivate a deeper connection, and more harmony is cultivated, and it's progressed, it's deepened, and it's made more known, more lived, more to be expected. You're secure and safer in the relationship, and it's better and nicer and sweeter. It's more beautiful and lovely. So this is for sure the best time to have a baby, in my opinion. Also, when you have like healthier habits in yourself and a better relationship with yourself. It's not just got to do with a better relationship with your partner, but a better relationship with your partner does revolve around a better relationship with yourself. But do focus on a good relationship with yourself and with life. Be happy being alive. Working on things like living your passion and purpose and calling more to being more of service with a sense of balance and harmony. Working on things like boundaries, self-love, self-care, being happy and joyous and living in a state of higher frequency like appreciation, gratitude, and feeling more love in your heart. Living more often from an more open heart instead of stuff like a closed heart, like bitterness, anger, resentment. Forgiveness, love, compassion, kindness. When you cultivate a good relationship with yourself and towards life and with your relationship, this is a very good time to have a baby. Like, it doesn't have to be right now, but from now on in, somewhere it's less optimal when it's not like that, and it's more optimal when it is like that. So obviously a lot of this is making sense, right? And I can tell you, it's just such a beautiful experience to have a baby under more optimal circumstances. Beautiful. And it's optimal if you can spend a lot of time with your baby instead of having to work extensively outside of the home. But listen, you know what? Like, not everyone's gonna have the most optimal, but I'm only making this video so you can aim for more of the optimals. Don't want anyone to feel bad because you don't have the optimal time. You know, definitely don't. Like, just be happy. If you choose to have a baby, or if you have a baby and you're gonna have a baby, be happy. It's okay. Make the most of it. Keep learning, growing, healing. And if you're one of these people, please, I do consider, I invite you to get help from myself or anyone else. It doesn't have to be me, but do get some help from healers or deeply embodied, heart-centered, wise coaches like myself or anyone else. Do get the help you need for you and your family and your children. I can't recommend that enough. Myself and my partner have both gotten the help of healers and even some wise counsel sometimes. It'll pay big dividends. It'll pay off immediately and long term. So my passion is relationship healing, self-healing, and entailing family healing. I love to help out people, relationships and families and children, parents, because this is what life is all about. The main thing in life is your relationships. It's not really so much your health that gives you happiness. It's definitely not your money. Like, we know loads of rich and famous people could die, commit suicide. It's all about connection. The connection means love. The connection is another word for love. So that's spirituality. You can call connection spirituality too. How you feel towards the life, the universe, the world, people, Mother Earth, Gaia, the plants, the animals, the insects, the microbes, the ecosystems, other people. Most people's predominant level of connection or disconnection, connection and sadness or happiness revolves around your relationships, your connection with people. So it's important to work on these things for optimal babying, for optimal having a baby and getting pregnant, giving birth and raising a newborn. But just for yourself, it's optimal. You need, for your own happiness and joy in life and satisfaction, you want to work on yourself. is the first relationship with yourself. So yeah, I work as a coach and a healer in these topics, and I have books and video courses on all of these topics, and physical health, physical healing as well. But I haven't mentioned that in this video because it's not really what this video is about, but I'm just saying like what I do. But yeah, spirituality and connection and healing is my passion. My biggest calling. So yeah, if you think this video has been of any help, which I'm sure it has been, and would have helped me at any time in my life, do share it with others. If you feel like it, you don't have to, but you're invited to share, like and subscribe or support this video and message, and to connect with me and my channel and my social media. Life is precious, you know, and the most vulnerable and most precious in some ways is a baby, a newborn, and a baby in the tummy. So we can talk to our baby in the tummy, give them love, know that they're there. It's just, when I first saw my baby, when I caught my baby, it was just such a beautiful experience, magical. But the deepest magic happened as I made a connection and a relationship with my baby, my newborn, my infant. Just so nice. It's just the happiest, most special, out of this world experience I've ever had, you know. Most blissful and joyful, just seeing her face, smiling at me, playing with her, learning what she wants and needs, and learning how to play with her more and laugh with her and joke with her and be silly, and how to amuse her and how to connect with her and how to make her laugh and smile, and how to feed her love and give her love and look after her better. It's just such a joy. But all of that, if you're in a relationship and it's not good, it's not working out, you're not a really good match, and either one of you or both of you aren't doing any healing, what can happen is you can break up in the pregnancy or afterwards, and there can be problems, or you might not see your baby much. And that for me was deeply sad in the past when I had that happen to me. Very, 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 very sad, and somewhat traumatic, very intense. So with all my heart, I actually wanted to work on things in the relationship, and I wanted to be in the baby's life properly, but sadly I couldn't. And that's okay. I have no bitterness, and I have no blame, I have no resentment, thankfully. I'm not giving out about anybody. That's just how the cards fell. It's how me and her were at the time. We weren't in a healed enough state to be able to communicate and have hard conversations to be where we needed to be. So no judgment. I'm not giving out, I'm not blaming anyone. It's our responsibility, the two of us, okay? But the other one I had, was just the opposite. It's just pure beautifulness. And I guess one thing, if I could turn back time and say what I could do a bit differently, I'd connect more with my baby in the womb, the mother's tummy. Because I absolutely connect with her so much now that she's like not in the tummy. I just kept it off social media, you know. It's something that we kept private. But I just love connecting in person. But I didn't really fully recognize her truest existence. Like, I hadn't really fully connected properly, you know what I'm saying, when she's in the mother's tummy. But it's not the biggest deal. Like, obviously I didn't talk, just interact a little bit when she's in the tummy, but it's different when they're fully there and you can hold them or play with them. Put her to sleep, I sing to her, I make lots of poetry and rhymes and songs for her that I make up, go strolling. It's just the happiest time of my life. Yeah, I hope this video has been a help, you know. I'm just still here because I just want to provide as much value, you know, as possible. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else that I could say or share? Yeah, just go over this video. There's a lot of tips, you know, a lot of tips. I'm grateful and appreciate everyone and everyone who's helps me to learn, including my partner and the Mama Natural Birthing course. and just simply my own experiences as well that I've learned as I went along too. But yeah, so having a baby can be heartbreak, or even just average or saddish sometimes if it's under the not good circumstances, like we're bad, not very non-optimal. But if the more it gets into more of the optimal, it can become much more and more and more and more and more and more pleasurable, fun, happy, joyful and joyous and blissful and rewarding and nourishing and heart-centered. No less or no problems. It's just more spectacular and tremendously beautiful and gorgeous, and I'm just enamored and absolutely 100%, a billion million percent in love with my baby, and just love her so much, and there's nothing can ever take that away. And it's like I say to her, I just love her forever and always, to infinity and beyond, and forever and now, always, timeful and timeless. And just love her so much, more than so much, to the point of love her fully and completely. It's the best thing ever. Such a gift. So yeah, another huge thing, like I already more or less said, is we want to be mature enough and ready enough and wise enough and healed enough to have a baby. And idealistically, optimally, 2 parents. But that's okay. You know, that's life. You know, everything. We all have certain pros and cons and positives and negatives and blessings and challenges in many, many, many different areas. Like so many. It could be money, career, health, our relationship with our parents, or it could be our ex, it could be our current partner, it could be a child, something's like a little bit different with our child, it could be our own disability, it could be someone else's closest disability, it could be numerous things. So when you add it all up, like, we don't have to have right now the exact thing in one area that we want. Like, patience is a virtue, and blessings come in disguises in many shapes and forms. So that's kind of what I want to end this video with. So for good or for bad, for don't be too hung up on what you think with your mind. It has to be this way, I want this way only. Or just take life what you got, and be grateful for your gifts and work on anything that you can, and just work on yourself. And that's really all you can do. And there's a lot of it's out of our control, in the hands of like God, source, the universe, great spirit, you know. That's okay, my friends. Don't be sad or hard on yourself too easily, you know. There's many things in my life that I could change or possibly want to be a bit different, you know. But that's life, you know, like one thing at a time. We learn as we go along. It's a gradual step and journey. You know, it's okay. So just make the most of what we have. And yeah, I'd love to hear any of you feel like sharing in your comments or experience. I'd love to hear your recommendation. What would you recommend? Because we all work together as a team, and obviously I didn't say everything here. There's many things I'm sure I didn't say. So if you feel like inputting anything, co-creating with me here, please do, and I'd love to hear. If there's anything else you want to simply add, for whatever purpose, anything that comes to your heart or your mind that you're inspired, please do leave it in the comments box below. And I'd love to hear from you as well, and maybe other people could hear from you and learn from you too. I'm open to learning every bit as much as I'm open to teaching and sharing. So yeah, my name is Owen Fox. I live in Ireland, and I think I've already said to befriend me on social media, connect, collaborate, any interviews. I love being interviewed and sharing or chatting, spreading the word, co-creating with love and light, amplifying the energies by working together. And I really wish you and your family and loved ones and children all the very, very best. And I hope you can heal your heart for your relationship with your parents, your brothers or sisters that there may be any fighting with. And as long as you can heal your heart, that's what's in your control. You can't force someone else to heal their heart. But I hope you can heal your heart and love in your heart, and possibly take any inspired action or not when the time is ready towards anyone who you may have had a rift with. Could be a parent, sibling, child, or another person in life. And with that, you have been rewarded with peace and more care and lightness and love in your heart and in your being. So we don't have to be attached to reciprocation or others doing the same, as long as we work from our truth and our vibration, our loveliness and our essence, you know, whatever comes within us with truth and integrity, love and compassion. That's the truth and that's the power. I better go now. I got things to do. But thanks for watching and thanks for your time. And I hope this video has been of help. Lots of love to you. And I'll see you again another time. Have a great day wherever you are in the world. And you're my friend. You're my brother or sister. You're part of my family. You're my extended family. We're all in it together, okay? I'm here for you if you need me.